Hyundai have consistently raised the game, and with the new model of the Venue, they've taken it even further. This is the all-new N-Line N10, the top end spec with the DCT, and here's what you need to know about the new car. Now this is not just a facelift, it is the all-new global K platform which underpins this new Venue, and it is actually much larger. When I say much larger, it's still the same 3995mm long, but the wheelbase is now 20mm more, so it's 2520. It is taller and wider, so it's a much bigger car than the one that is going out. And there's a lot more to it because there's more equipment, more space, more features, and some touches that just make sense in today's world. Apart from the N-Line badging, there's a lot that sets apart the N-Line Venue from the rest of the range. And this N10 DCT of course gets 17-inch wheels. That is a big change, and it gets 215mm rubber. But the changes do not stop there. We also get more kit on the inside for the ADAS, which of course is level 2, but it also features rear cross traffic alert and auto brake among many other. There are 5 more elements for the ADAS which this car gets that the others don't. One of the big changes is of course the all-new key design. It now resembles the Hyundai logo and has the buttons inside the gaps. Very smart and very ergonomic as well. The front end is one of the big changes that the Venue gets. The N-Line gets a sportier front, and of course it is quite distinct. The badging there sets it apart, and it is very sporty in tune with its character. Among the standout elements on this car of course is the LED lighting. You have a light bar across the front and this C-shape here, plus you have quad beam LED headlamps. The LED tail lamps also are a sharp addition, and you have the Venue badging inside the glass, which is very cool and looks quite sharp and modern. Another big change of course is this matte grey finish on the top of the cladding and on this pillar here with the Venue logo embossed in there. Plus you get this neat little quarter panel for improved visibility. Typically for the N-Line we have the 1-litre turbo GDI engine, which is a direct gasoline injection, and it produces 120 horsepower with 172 Nm of torque. Now that is good numbers on paper, but it doesn't feel as punchy. Maybe it's down to the size, but for what it is, it does a good job and it is quite tractable. The all-new interior in the N-Line is of course very sporty, and you have this nice N-Line gear shift with the red contrast. But my favorite element of all is this steering wheel. It looks straight out of the Ioniq 5N. You have 2 knobs here which control the drive modes and the traction modes. They could even put the start button there, but no worries, it's right here. And the overall layout is fantastic, and of course the feel is typically N-Line, so you have an amazingly nicely weighted feel, and it feels great on the road because you just know exactly where the wheels are, exactly what it's going over, and it just feels so damn good. There are several more elements. Of course you have the Venue embedded in this passenger front dashboard. We have a curved display here which is now 62.5cm or two 12.3-inch screens, which just form this sweet little angle around the driver and make it seem more focused. There's also wireless charging, a lot of cubby holes and storage spaces around the doors and in the cabin, and 2 cup holders with the new key holder. You get 2 Type-C ports. The Bose sound system is fantastic as well. It's got 8 speakers along with a very crisp surround sound audio. That is fantastic. The vents are vertical on the sides and horizontal in the center and make for a good suspension of air, and there is also an air purifier which helps keep the cabin air clean. The longer wheelbase has indeed freed up a little more space, plus they have scooped out the seats in the front, which makes for more knee room. And overall the headroom is good. Even though at me at 6 feet tall, I'm quite comfortable and there's enough room, and of course the headrest is adjustable, which is a brilliant touch. You also get these sun blinds, pretty cool. Overall it's a great job, and I think the finish is excellent as always. 375-litre boot, which holds a weekend's luggage for 2, maybe even 4. Alright, we're driving the new Hyundai Venue N-Line, and it is absolutely fantastic. Well, that's just one word to sum it up. It was that fantastic. The N steering wheel is phenomenal. The feedback is exceptionally well calibrated, and it feels so good to hold. And the pedals and the controls and the dials just feels nice. And we even have these physical buttons on the center console that control all the functions you need without having to resort to a haptic touch. We have to wonder if it's done or not done. Glance down, you can do it without even looking at the console. The ride quality is also excellent. The suspension is set up very well. It is on the slightly firmer side, but it does not feel that way because you can read the road very well through the hands and through your backside as well, because they've done it so well that it just soaks up all the bumps. But at the same time, you know when you hit the off-road or a bump like that, and it just feels sharper and precise because if I point, it goes, and it is so responsive and very well calibrated, to say the least. The handling of course is typically N-Line. It feels sharp. The best part is the cabin feels good and is comfortable to be in. The ergonomics are spot on. For instance, I have the mirror controls right here on the door panel. I don't need to stretch out an ungainly amount to get it to the corner on the pillar there. That's one thing. I have a proper straight armrest. There's nothing like an umbrella holder which doesn't hold a regular size umbrella just to fluff up the spec sheet. But it's got everything you need. The bottle holder is right here at the front of the door. I don't need to open the door to get to the back of the door pocket to pick out a bottle. The center console is smooth. It's got two cup holders. It's not like someone ripped out a 5.25-inch DVD type of an old PC case. No, it's not. It's finished really well. It's well laid out. There's a space here, wireless charging here. It just makes sense. And that is what we need from a sensible car. No nonsense. Now the airline of course deserves to be driven in a sporty manner, which is why you have the drive modes right on the wheel, very like a Porsche. But you have Eco, Normal and Sport. Sport is what gives you the best response from the turbo engine because there is zero lag. However, it does mean that you're in the upper end of the rev zone, or rather outside your normal city comfort zone, which is about 1500 rpm. In Sport, you're always at 2000 rpm or more, but that also means you get instant response and there is zero turbo lag, which happens a little more permanently, let's say, in Eco and Normal. However, that does not affect drivability. It has a chunk of torque available low down, enough to keep rolling and keep a steady speed. However, if you need to overtake, that is when you need to get a little gas on, and it takes a bit more time. A wee bit more, not much. But overall, the driving is excellent. It feels great, it's responsive, and it is fun. There's a lot of soft kit which is very useful as well. You can see your real-time fuel efficiency, plus uses to the mode, your compass, adaptive cruise control details. Of course, this car is level 2 ADAS. That includes adaptive cruise control, blind spot warnings, and of course vehicle distance settings, which let you preset how far you want to be from the vehicle ahead, and works really well. It also has automatic front and rear. If there's someone crossing either ahead of you or behind you if you're reversing, it will apply the brake automatically. The other very important piece of kit is the tire pressure monitor, which lets you see all four pressures at the same time and also gives you real-time updates if you're filling at a station or if it's losing air. You can actually see how quickly your pressure is going, which is quite useful. The Venue, of course, is the first of 26 new cars coming in before 2030, and it is a proper software-defined vehicle with 20 of the controllers integrated in this onboard systems, able to receive over-the-air wireless updates. So that means you will get updates over the air for 20 different controllers, including everything from the entertainment to the voice controls and commands, and of course how much the car understands when you speak. It also supports 5 languages for the voice control, which means you can communicate with the car in 5 different languages. There's also support for a lot more within here, and everything is within easy reach on this curved touchscreen. Nice touch.